All right, welcome to Hair Queen LA. Today we are joined by the gorgeous, the fashionista, the model. She really does everything. Gigi Goode.
Hey divas, how's it going?
She literally has done everything. You were a runner-up on season 12 of Drag Race. You've modeled for Fenty. You've modeled for Moschino. You've been in a music video with Sam Smith and Demi Lovato. You really there's something you can do, honestly.
You're really taking me back through memory lane, aren't you?
I mean, that's what I gotta do, right?
And all during COVID, don't you forget.
True, we gotta go through all the accolades. So, since you were a COVID contestant on Drag Race, moving in from that into the new world, was it kind of a shift? Was it like overwhelming?
Actually, yeah, I learned very quickly that COVID turned me into an introvert, which I had never been before, but I find it so hard to drag my ass out of my house now and like go out just to go out, and not because there's a paycheck or not because there's this or that. It's like I'm such a homebody now, so that's, I would say, the hardest part of coming back into everything. But on the flip side of that, not really, because the opportunities are like so far beyond my wildest imagination.
Oh, sure.
And I'm like, yeah, like give it, like bring it to me faster, harder. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So like, for example, so when Fenty reached out to you, like, what was that like? Because I feel like I would die.
I did. Because that's, you know, they had done, this was volume 2 that I did. So they had done the previous Fenty show, and I think they had Aquaria walk it. And I remember watching it and being like, okay, this is a gag. This would be a gag to do this. And so myself and Shea Coulee were chosen to walk sort of side by side, one after another.
Right.
And got to obviously meet Rihanna, which was such a gag. I mean, Rihanna's like queen. She's Queen Rihanna. I don't know. There's not much she has done wrong in her career, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
That's the best experiences of my career.
I remember watching it, and I knew that like it was rumored of like who was going to be on it and stuff. Shay walked out, and I'm like, oh my god. And then you walked out, and I'm like, oh my god. Absolutely. Well, I'm so happy that you're here, and let's get into the interview.
Let's do it.
So you are, of course, all of these things that I said that you are capable of doing and have done, but you also do hair, which I think is fascinating.
Yeah.
You've, I just really want to dig into your brain about that, because we're here at Hair Queen, we make wigs all the time, and just to have that ability to make that craft is so amazing to me. With your mom, I want to know, did she have any influence with you in your hair? Because I know that she made a lot of your costumes and stuff. You
know, the only influence that she had on my interest in hair is buying me American Girl dolls.
Okay.
She used to bribe me with American Girl dolls to audition for the local children's theater productions, because I had no interest in that, but eventually fell in love with it because of these bribes.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, I got 3 American Girl dolls out of it over the course of 3 summers, and of course I only wanted the ones with the longest hair.
Right.
So I had Kaya, I had Josefina, I had, you know, the girls. And there was also this DVD that my mom bought me, and it was an American Girl hairstyling tutorial DVD.
Okay.
And that's, I don't ever remember learning how to braid or French braid or cornrow or anything, but my mom used to tell me that, you know, we'd be getting ready for church on Sundays, and I'd be like 5 or 6, and I would be like braiding her hair down and like putting in clips and decorative things. And yeah, so I don't really remember like a moment where I learned how to do hair. It's kind of been a part of my upbringing. But yeah, so that was the influence, was dolls. Barbies, American Girl dolls, and that one DVD.
Okay. I know some drag queens have said the same thing, where their inspiration comes from dolls, because when we are younger kids, that's what like we play with and we have and we idolize. And so what was so was it like American Girl, or was it Bratz? Like what was?
All of it. I loved all the dolls. American Girl dolls I loved because they, I guess, in size, in proportion, were the closest to like a human head's hair, because they're, you know, their heads are pretty substantial. So it was something that I could actually, you know, get it. You can't really like section out hair on a Barbie doll. You can't really like stuff like that. So yeah, I would say American Girl dolls. Of course, I had Bratz. My mom did not like the Bratz dolls.
But she didn't.
Yes, they were a little bit too promiscuous for her. I learned about sex through Bratz dolls too.
How?
Because my neighbor friend had all the. I had all the Barbies. My neighbor friend had all the Bratz and like the GI Joes and the Ken dolls and stuff. And I remember she taught me what sex was through a boy Bratz doll and a girl Bratz doll, and it was just this. Like banging them together like this, and I was like, "Oh, that's what that is."
Oh my god!
So, that's what it is, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something of in that caliber.
I mean, it must be.
I mean, I don't know. Who knows? So, so with you learning that through dolls,
yes.
So would you do the doll's hair, or would you kind of just look at it and think it's beautiful? Or what was maybe then like your first kind of test subject? Would you do your own hair?
So I do remember the moment that I realized that I was obsessed with hair. And for me, hair is a tactile fixation. It's not necessarily the end product. It has kind of become that, but for me, it's the touching and the feeling, and the combing and the straightening and like feeling the different textures and all of that. That is what I'm obsessed with. And I always tell boys that I'm seeing too, I'm like, please tell me if you need me to stop touching your hair because it's just involuntary, like I can't help it.
Right.
And I remember when it's like one of those flash memories when I was so young. I don't remember what actually transpired, but I grew up in Chicago, in Evanston more specifically. Okay. And I remember there was an alleyway between our house and the next building, and in this alleyway I was playing one day and I found a track of hair that was just long enough to tie around my head. Disgusting. Yeah. But like as a child, I like picked it up and I was like, whoa. And I'm sure it was human hair also. Okay. I'm pretty sure. And so I took it and I wrapped it around my head, and it was the first time I remember feeling wind push hair, and it was the first time I remember feeling like, you know, just like doing this, which is such a like, it's such like a staple to me. It's that really kind of started my feminine journey. Okay. And yeah, so it all started with that one little lonely track of hair that somebody lost.
Literally tell me about that. What color was it?
I don't remember. I really don't remember. I just remember touching it and picking it up. I think it was like a mousy brown, you know, nothing crazy.
Was it like did it feel nice, or was it kind of ratty?
It wasn't ratty at all. That was the thing. It was dry as a bone. It was clean. Okay. I mean, to my recollection, it could have been. I mean, I remember my mom spotted me with it. She was like, "Put that thing, get that thing out of here."
She's like, "What in the world is that?"
Exactly. I mean, rightfully so. I probably shouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
You're like, "Look, Mom." Yeah. She's like,
Absolutely not. No.
How old were you?
I must have been like 3 or 4.
Oh,
like early. It's one of the only memories I have from being that age. And then, yeah, the rest we moved to Woodstock, Illinois when I was 7, and I don't really remember anything else other than that memory and like some random birthday party, but yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. So as you got older, of course, your craft in hair only got better, starting off with the string now to like these full amazing wigs that you make. Yeah. So I really want to pick your brain about all of the hair that you made, not only for yourself, but also Simone. Yeah. Like back when Drag Race aired, I had no idea that you even did hair. And then when Simone went on and I found out that you made all of her hair, I was like, what the hell? Like, specifically the beaded wig that has her name written in it, that is, for me, the best wig I've ever seen on Drag Race. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, I'm like, how the hell does she make that?
Well, you know, crazy. It was inspired by Beyonce. And I have to say that, though I am so proud of all of the wigs that I did on Simone. They all were her idea. Okay. And so she's the one with the reference pic. She's the one that's like, I have this idea, hasn't been done before, how can we make it happen? And I'm so glad that Simone came into my life, because if it weren't for her, I would not, like, she challenged me so much on my abilities. I'm sure. I had never cornrowed before doing hair for Simone. I had never done dreads. I had never done like, you know, anything other than kind of like an American Girl doll hair's texture or, you know. So she kind of opened up the floodgates to more. And ever since Drag Race, You know, I'm kind of always there if she needs me, which I think is kind of valuable to the two of us.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, it was like, I kind of gagged myself, not gonna lie.
Well, I'm even more gagged now knowing that you didn't know how to do any of that.
Yeah, well, you know, to me, it's, you know, and this goes for most things in life. I think there's ways to simplify everything.
Sure.
So in my head, when I was learning how to cornrow, I was like, oh, it's just a tiny French braid. Just a ton of different tiny French braids, and that's kind of what it becomes. And then it's like, oh, inverted, it's a Dutch braid, and then it becomes adding beads to it, which is where the math comes in, and that's where Marco Monroe, our friend, he like mapped out the whole beaded hair thing, and I just kind of slid the beads on. But you know,
amazing.
It's all a group effort.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It is.
I'm sure it takes an army to like put everything together. I would be so stressed if I got the call because they don't give you that much time either, right?
No, Simone had 3 weeks. I had a month.
Okay.
Simone had like 3.5-ish weeks, and yeah, it was very
still
stressful.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So when you are creating a new wig, either for yourself or someone else, like what is your process? I'm sure it's different for each type of wig. So say you were just going to make one for yourself, like what goes into that process?
Well, I don't know. It always starts with an idea or something that I already have, a wig that I already have that maybe I've already done or has been colored or, you know, came a certain type of way, and it's a lot easier to jump off of that. Like this wig. So Tristan killed this wig, obviously.
Amazing.
But, you know, I looked in the mirror and saw, I was like, okay, this can be leveled up a little bit. Let's just like chop, 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 chop. And then all of a sudden it's a completely different wig than it arrived as. So yeah, you're right. It always changes based on what I'm working with. But for me, it's like, you know, if you do art, if you're an artist, it should just kind of come. It comes to you, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Every artist has their own process, but everyone, like whether it's dancing, singing, writing a play, they always kind of say the same thing. Like I saw it in my head first, I had the vision, and then I kind of went and...
I mean, there are some times when I will be like sitting on an airplane or something and like really thinking about this hair idea and evolving it in my head and figuring out what it's going to do. Can't wait to get home and get to this wig and color it. And, you know, I have a lot of wigs that are like that. And I love a prompt. I'm obsessed with a prompt.
Love a theme.
So like wigs for Halloween. I die for wigs for the holidays and, you know, stuff like that. Or if there's a color that I have to wear or something. I like a jumping off point. And then it just kind of goes from there.
Okay. So going back to Halloween, love Halloween. What would you say is like your favorite Halloween wig you ever made for someone or yourself? Because that's a very fun
picture.
prompt.
I know exactly the wig. I have a picture if you want me to show you.
You can show me off camera.
I'll show you after. It's this, so one night at our party, I just was like, okay, I need a walk around look and I need a wig. And it's gonna have to be bright orange and green.
Okay.
And it was like, half of the wig was all vertical stripes and the other half of the wig was plaid.
Oh, okay.
So I did like orange and green plaid and then orange and green stripes. It took a very long time, but it's my favorite wig in general that I've done.
So you're a colorist too then?
Yes.
Amazing.
And that's been very new to me.
Oh, so it is newer. Yeah. Okay, so how did that process start? Because, I mean, braiding hair is its own craft. You know, there's all these different things you can do with hair, and I feel like coloring is very tedious, and it has to be done a specific way. And from what I've seen, I think you're pretty damn good at it. So like, of course, so like how does that work?
I am the type of artist that has zero patience.
Okay.
I don't, like in high school, I always got in trouble in my art classes because I would just spend an hour on something and be like, okay, it's done. Here, give me a grade. And you know, the art teacher would be like, no, it's about the process. It's about the long journey. Like I've given you 3 weeks to work on this and you finished in a day. But for me, I just can't, I can't read a book for the same reason. I cannot sit and just do something like that. I need to be, my mind starts going. So, and so when I went to college originally, I dropped out of college and I had originally gone for art education. I wanted to be a high school art teacher.
Oh, cute.
And my emphasis was in portraits and painting. So I did a lot of painting, and of course, that's all hair dye is. It's just, you know, painting. So when I realized that it's just another canvas to paint on, I was like, oh, okay, great.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Full circle moment.
Yes.
Amazing. So with all of your amazing work with hair, do you like take clients? Like, do people come to you and are like, Gigi, can you please make me this wig?
They do, and I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I don't know. For me, because I was telling Tristan earlier in the chair, hair, fashion, design, everything that I do that encompasses my drag is so personal to me.
Sure.
And it just is really like, as soon as it becomes something that I'm doing for other people that I don't have my heart in it for, then it becomes work. And then it becomes, I don't want to get out of bed to do this. And then it becomes, oh, I have a time frame. And then it becomes, oh, they have notes on my work. And it's, when it's for me, I know exactly how I want it to be. And if there's notes, I keep it to myself and I fix it, do what I gotta do. And my mom is the same way with sewing.
Okay.
She doesn't make clothes for anybody else except for me and fifth graders in the local theater production.
Okay.
And she makes these like stunning atelier level couture pieces for me.
Word. Yeah.
And then she has like these queens in her DMs being like, please, are you taking commissions? And she's like, no, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's amazing though.
Yeah.
Protect your piece, protect your craft.
Yeah.
Because art is supposed to be fulfilling in the end. And like when you expel something from your body and you make something, you want to be able to be proud of it and not have someone over your shoulder being like, oh, I really like this part.
Absolutely.
I'm like, no, this is beautiful the way that it is.
It's mine.
And it's mine.
It's not yours.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
Yeah. So how do you decline people? Are you like, no, thank you, I'm really busy?
I mean, I don't, usually, yeah. Like, if I was being honest with people, I'd be like, no, thank you, I have no interest in doing your hair because I have no emotional connection to it.
Fair.
Whereas if I'm doing, you know, Simone's hair, she's like, you know, she's like my best friend.
Right.
And so it's, of course, like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I don't know, it just makes sense to me. And the rest of the people in my house, my family, like, I'll do whatever they need me to do, just as I know they will do whatever I need them to do.
Sure.
But yeah, if it's just like, I don't know, I just don't really have any interest in doing it for other people. It'll lose its sparkle. I just know it will.
Yeah. And the love that you have for it right now is being protective, which is perfect.
Yeah.
And should stay that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never say never, you know.
Yeah.
I did, actually, so I have done wigs for other people.
Okay.
And I've been commissioned to do wigs for other people. Bjork asked me to do a wig for her.
Really?
And then I think that project fell through, but I do have the emails, it's in writing, it's real. I did a wig for Betsy Johnson when she was a judge on Drag Race, so I did one for her. Yeah, I don't know, I mean, not no.
Yeah, how cool.
But I mean, give me something fierce and I'll do it.
Yeah, true. Like, imagine if Rihanna was like, can you?
I would do it.
Absolutely, so fast.
100%.
But like, if a Drag Race girl was like, hey, like a new one, like on season 16, if one queen was about to go on.
I'm sorry, I'm not like, I don't have any interest in doing hair for your meet and greet in Salt Lake City, Utah. Like, it doesn't inspire me.
Fair.
You know?
Very fair.
And that wasn't directed at any specific queen, but
it makes sense.
You know.
I would feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
So I want to know, kind of shifting gears a little bit, but like, I want to know what wearing wigs means to you, and like when you have it on, like what power does it give you? I think it's so, I mean, for anyone, boys, girls, whoever, like whenever you put on a wig, you're like, you know what I mean?
There's something about it.
Yeah.
Right?
So tell me your take on it.
It's something, you're right, it's something that's kind of hard to put into words. My relationship with hair has always been a gender thing. And it's always been a very affirming thing for me. That's why when we were downstairs trying on all these wigs, I put the blonde on and I was like, oh, this is a very affirming wig because it feels so feminine, and it really is like that blonde pop star situation. This, of course, is I mean, Shelby killed the color on this. Obviously,
absolutely.
It's stunning, and you know, but it's a completely different feeling. Like this gives me just like power. Kind of like video game character. I feel like I could knock your ass down. But yeah, it depends on the wig. It always gives me a different feeling. And I just have come to a point in my life now in my transition where my hair is long enough to style my natural hair, and so I've been
Which is also gorgeous.
playing on that. Thank you. I've been playing on that journey a lot, and that's been a lot of fun and very, very affirming because there's nothing like whipping your hair around and it not falling off your head.
Right.
Like, to give you the moment you're looking for. But yeah, wigs are just like, I don't know, to me it's the foundation of drag. It is.
Or life even.
Life, yeah, it doesn't even have to be drag, but you know, the line between drag and gender identity is kind of blurred for me, so
sure.
I don't know, to me drag just is life.
Yeah, that's very, very fair.
I'd rather say drag than life.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we see so many girls and men too that come in every day that like have hair loss or have like a sickness or just have thin hair. They're getting older and their hair is just thinning out, and being able to see them get a wig installed and them completely light up and them
it's completely transformative.
It's amazing. And so like, has there ever been a time in your life where you put on a wig and it was like, I mean, I'm sure it's all the time, but like, was there a specific time where you were like, this hair is just giving me everything that I need and more?
Yeah. The first time I ever put hair extensions in my hair, I felt amazing. But prior to that, actually, ironically, I had bought, when my hair was just long enough to get into a teeny weeny little ponytail at the top of my head, I came here and I bought the long, like 26-inch ponytail in dark brown. And I have worn that shit to hell and back ever since that day.
Yeah.
I remember putting that on and being like, oh my God, this is me, this is my hair. You know, there's no glue, there's no lace, there's no nothing.
Right.
But what I do remember the most in terms of moments like that are from Simone, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because there's nothing like seeing somebody that you love light up about something you've done for them and spent so much time over. And, you know, I remember like, I mean, all the wigs that she put on for her finale, she had really amazing reactions to. But the one that she wore with the jeans, her give up outfit, that was all human hair, and it was 6 wigs sewn together.
Oh,
and
it was very grandiose.
It was like the biggest wig I've ever done, and she put it on, and I could tell she just felt so stunning. And that to me is like, you know, reward enough.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, it's so wholesome too and genuine. How sweet.
I love it.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Well, I do want to ask you now if you have any advice for boys, men, or just anyone in general who's like afraid to like dip their toe in hair and putting on a wig. It doesn't even need to be like drag or anything, but guys that are maybe like afraid to put on a wig because they're losing their hair, you know?
Not to roll my eyes, but that's just a big eye roll to me. I've never once understood the apprehension of playing with hair, playing with makeup, playing with clothes. Like, some people just don't grasp the fact that, you know, you've got like right around 90 to 100 years on this planet. What are you going to do with it? And why is it so important for you to stay as far away from these things as possible? Even if it's something that can help make you feel good and confident, and, you know, it's like, this is not something that's just meant for women. Women have just found it out before you and are living their confident lives. Imagine if we lived in a world where men, actually, we do live in a world where men discovered wigs and high heels before women did.
True.
We do.
Yeah,
that's just the fact of the matter. But, you know, as time has evolved, women adopted those things and men got threatened by it because it all of a sudden it became a feminine thing instead of a masculine thing. And so, you know, my brother, like, just as some examples, my oldest brother, Mac, his hair is down to his hips. He takes awful care of it, but he's got a gorgeous woman's head of hair. He just does, and it happens to be on a man, and he still looks masculine. Marco Monroe, our friend, he's completely bald as a cue ball, and he has so many hair pieces. Some are incredibly natural, some are neon green. It's just like wearing a hat.
Right.
It's like, it's the same. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Like, why are you so pressed about it? It's not that serious.
I know. And I do think a lot of it can come from toxic masculinity, but also too, like, men just a lot of the time don't know how to be expressive, and they don't understand like how powerful changing their hair could be, and also how attractive it can be.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to change my hair all the time, like this. This is so fun.
It's so fun. You look amazing, and I'm sure you look amazing out of a wig too. It's just not that serious. It's really isn't. Literally not. It's just hair. It's just makeup. Just clothes. We're all gonna die. Have fun.
Literally.
Be stupid.
And it can be taken off.
Yeah.
At any point in time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing's permanent.
Nothing's permanent at all, especially a wig.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So I went earlier through not even all of your accolades, but just so many like cool things that you've done. Where do you see yourself in like 5-ish, 10-ish years? Like, what would you like to accomplish or have done in that time?
see myself being the trans Kim Kardashian.
Work. You're on your way there.
And not in the way, like, just from a, because I know that's a controversial thing to say, but from a business standpoint, I think that she's one of the smartest businesswomen out there, and she's inspired me a lot. And I mean, I have a lot of things coming out, maybe some soon and some years down the line. It's very much a long haul project, but yeah, I would love to design clothes. I will have a line of clothing. I will have, I don't know, everything. I want to do everything.
Yeah.
I don't see the point in limiting yourself.
Yeah. If you come out with a clothing line,
I will.
Bitch, I'm buying. Literally,
I will.
I am going to be there. Anything really. I just love your whole aesthetic as a whole.
Thank you.
You are very, very, you pay attention to detail, and everything that you curate and put together is just so well done. Yeah, and you know, when you went on Drag Race, you were like, what, 21? And to be that sharp with detail is extremely rare. Like, extremely. So, yeah, of course.
That's so funny. I look at that. I watch Drag Race, like, my season back now, and I'm like, what are you wearing? What did you decide to put on your body on national television?
Really?
Yeah, all the time.
Why did you feel that about?
I just, like, which look?
Yeah.
Like, the ice cream man look.
Oh, that was cute.
It was cute.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, oh my god, if only COVID had happened right before my season, I would have had time to sit and think and evolve and, you know, I don't know. But whatever.
It already happened.
Yeah, it already happened. I'm proud of everything that I did. Wouldn't have done it any different. Never doing it again.
You never doing it again?
Not for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
I got everything I wanted out of Drag Race.
I mean, you went pretty far, and you got a pretty damn good career out of it, so why bother?
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay, well, wonderful. Where can the people find you on social media?
Oh my god, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at the Gigi Goode. And
the Gigi Goode.
The Gigi Goode, the one and only.
Upcoming things you can tell us about, or is it all hush hush for right now?
I mean, me and my friends always have Gloss in West Hollywood at Heart. We always have Sugar Tank at Precinct downtown. So just keep an eye out on the stories and come. We're always there. We'd love to see you and party with you and do shots with you. So,
amazing. Yeah. Perfect. Well, I'm going to Gloss this coming Monday. Oh, best believe you will see me there.
Yes. What hair are you wearing?
That's a good question. That's a really, really good question.
Could be the toupee.
It could be the toupee. I would love to get that done. Guys, I really want to get a cute light pink or lavender toupee done. Maybe when we do this again, I'll have that hair done.
Absolutely.
For the next guest that comes, maybe. That would be ideal, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right, well, thank you all so much for joining us today and the lovely Gigi Goode. Come to Hair Queen LA. We're open 7 days a week. We open at 10:30 a.m., close at 6:30 p.m. If you buy a wig in store, it comes with a free installation, and you can reserve your spot online or by calling us. So, don't waste time. Come see us. Have a good day.
Bye, divas.